What happens when chaos grips a nation and the usual lines of authority start to blur? There's a powerful and controversial piece of legislation in the United States that deals with exactly this scenario, the Insurrection Act of 1807. So, what is it, and why does it spark so much debate whenever it's mentioned? Let's break it down. The Insurrection Act gives the President of the United States the authority to deploy active duty military troops within the country to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, or rebellion. Normally, the Posse Comitatus Act prevents federal military personnel from acting as a domestic police force. The Insurrection Act is the major exception to that rule. It's essentially a last resort tool, intended for situations where state and local authorities are either unable or unwilling to maintain public order. The origins of this law go way back to the early days of the Republic. Think of events like the Whiskey Rebellion in the 1790s, where President Washington himself led troops to quell an uprising. The founders were worried about federal overreach, but they also knew that a complete breakdown of law and order was a threat to the nation itself. So, they created this mechanism to provide a strong federal response when absolutely necessary. Throughout history, the act has been invoked in a variety of situations. It was used during the Civil War, of course, but also during the turbulent era of Reconstruction, to protect the civil rights of newly freed slaves from groups like the Ku Klux Klan. This is a key point sometimes. It's been used to enforce federal law and protect citizens when states failed to do so. Fast forward to the 20th century, and you see it being used during the Civil Rights Movement. For example, President Eisenhower sent the 101st Airborne Division to Little Rock, Arkansas, in 1957 to ensure 9 black students could safely integrate into a high school, defying the state governor. But it's not always so clear-cut. In 1992, the act was used during the Los Angeles riots following the Rodney King verdict. This instance raised serious questions about using the military for what many saw as a law enforcement issue. It highlighted the fine line between restoring order and imposing something that looks like martial law. This is where the modern controversy really heats up. In recent years, the mere mention of the Insurrection Act has become a political flashpoint. During periods of widespread protest and civil unrest, discussions about invoking the act have emerged, leading to intense debate. Critics argue that deploying federal troops against American citizens is a dangerous step towards authoritarianism. They worry it could be used to suppress legitimate dissent and political opposition, blurring the lines between protest and insurrection. The image of soldiers on American streets is a powerful and, for many, a deeply unsettling one. On the other hand, proponents argue that in extreme circumstances, where violence spirals out of control and lives are at risk, the president needs to have every tool available to protect the country and its people. They see it as a necessary failsafe when all other options have been exhausted. The core of the debate really comes down to a fundamental question. When does a protest cross the line into an insurrection, and who gets to make that call? The Insurrection Act is a potent symbol of the tension between freedom and order, state authority and federal power. It's a law that sits quietly in the books for decades, only to emerge during moments of national crisis. Its history is complex, having been used to both protect civil rights and to quell riots in our modern, polarized times. Its potential use forces us to confront some of the most difficult questions about our democracy. What are the limits of presidential power? And what is the proper role of the military in a free society? Thinking about the Insurrection Act isn't just a historical exercise. It's about understanding the awesome power vested in the executive branch and the profound implications of its use as we navigate future challenges. The debate over this 200-year-old law will likely continue to be at the forefront of American political discourse. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown interesting, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the laws and systems that shape our world. See you next time.